everybody had a predetermined idea of the person I was and of the person I was to become. Everybody saw me as that tall basketball player who was probably going to end up in the league or going pro or for surely playing Division I college basketball. But nobody saw me for me. I couldn't go to the store without people stopping me and asking me, how tall are you? What school do you go to? What AAU team do you play for? Everybody just saw a basketball player. But these opinions of myself and the type of person I was would soon change. In middle school, I spoke up for the first time in an assembly. Nervous as ever and stuttering over every other word, I recited a poem about black boy joy and uplifting my fellow brothers. My inspiration was simple. In an inner city school district like the OUSD, we aren't properly taught about ourselves. History books depict African American males as criminals, slaves, animals, and other things of that nature. So for that 55-minute history period, we were taught about how we were inferior and below the white man. I felt it essential that I personally educate and remind my fellow kings beside me that we are more than that. I felt it essential that I let them know who we are, what we are, and where we come from. Nobody expected me to speak up. And nobody knew I could spit a 16 without even breaking a sweat. I was just expected to just shut up and dribble. And nobody saw me as more than an athlete. In today's society, athletes are taking greater strides outside of their respective courts and fields. I myself use my voice in a numerous amount of ways to spread my truth, my beliefs, and my reasons. I strongly believe in social justice matters such as Black Lives Matter, defunding the police, gender inequality, education reform, and the school-to-prison pipeline. But people see me and just see a basketball player. While I am a basketball player, I'm more than that. I'm a brother, I'm a son, and I'm a nephew. My parents raised me to always use my voice. My mom and dad both told me if you don't use your voice, who will? I'm the proud son of immigrants. Both my mother and father both being from Sierra Leone. And they taught me that God gifted you with a purpose. He gifted you with passion. He gifted you with a voice. Use that voice to make something, to change something, to be the change. Being a hooper is more than hitting a jump shot. It's more than locking somebody up. It's more than sitting in the stance and guarding somebody. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for the basketball player I am on the court. So essentially, you could say that I became myself on the court. I got help. I got ball. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. These phrases, this loud persona I put on, this proud and this fearless, this bold, this brave Mahda that you see is just Mahda. I'm not just an athlete. Due to recent tragedies in the African American community today, WNBA and NBA players chose to speak up. Players like LeBron James, Chris Paul, Breonna Stewart, Asia Wilson chose to use their platform to speak out against social injustices and other global issues. NBA players used their uniforms by printing social justice slogans on the back. Slogans such as Black Lives Matter, defund the police, we matter, education reform, etc. WNBA players went as far as to wearing T-shirts with bullet holes painted on them to signify the death of Breonna Taylor. These players caused waves and caused changes that would expose and uproot these injustices in our country. And while most athletes are current activists or active activists, they're simply more than that. LeBron James, he recently opened his I Promise school in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. Chris Paul in the 2020 NBA playoffs wore different customized sneakers to pay homage to historically black colleges and universities. And the late Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, left behind his Mamba Sports Academy that continues to develop future athletes and further the career of current athletes. I myself have done work outside the hoop court. And for my fellow athletes that want to do work outside the hoop court, use me as an example. In the 8th grade, I was part of a program in my hometown of Oakland, California. This program was called African American Male Achievement. And through this program, I had the opportunity to travel to New Orleans, Louisiana. And within this opportunity, I presented to the Orleans Parish School Board on how this program was working to change the narrative for black boys in the city of Oakland. I had the opportunity to teach them on the curriculum that we were taught, the extracurricular activities that we were offered, and the mentorship that we were absolutely blessed to receive. I didn't stop there. Later on in 8th grade, I hosted a Young Women Empowerment Day at my middle school that I called Touch of Revolution. And on this day, we did nothing but empower young girls to make them feel beautiful, loved, cared about, that they mattered when this world doesn't treat them that way. We played games, we listened to music, we ate food, we laughed, we joked, we jump roped, we did everything to just show every girl that they were loved. This past summer, I posted a short rap on my Instagram. In the wake of the death of George Floyd, I wanted to express my outrage and fatigue towards the treatment of African Americans in this country by the police. And later on that summer, I hosted a virtual teaching right here at Morrow Catholic to teach and explain the injustices in the American justice system and how the system was never built to work in the favor of African Americans. So you see, I'm not just a basketball player. I'm a voice of the youth, I'm a voice of the speechless, or I'm the voice of the streets, some might say. But I'm just Mahda. Today's athletes are more than athletes. We're freedom fighters, advocates, and more. Using our platforms is only a part of the mission. The audience is also a part of the mission. If we could spread our message, spread our beliefs, spread our truth, spread what we're passionate about through our play, through our social media posts, through our uniforms, through our biographies, that's only a part of the job. The rest of it is on the audience. How do you take that into account? How do you use that to spread positivity? How do you use that to create change? As athletes, we are blessed with one of the biggest platforms in the world. Day in and day out, fans buy our jerseys, research our biographies, and follow our social media accounts. So it's only right that we use this platform that we were blessed with to stand up against social injustices and other global issues. So yeah, times have changed. So yeah, athletes aren't here just for entertainment anymore. Yeah, we're innovators. Yeah, we're activists. Yeah, we're curators. Yeah, I could come down, hit a step back, 3, and hold my hand up like I'm Curry. But I could also explain to you the jail-like tendencies of public schools. I could also write a song or poem about constantly being harassed and intimidated by the police. I can freely express to you how I feel the pay gap is completely unfair when women are constantly making moves behind the scenes in this country and receive no credit. Pretty soon I'll be making a decision, a very important decision, where I'll be attending college for the next 4 years. And I'll be making this decision solely as Mahda, not as a basketball player trying to make it to the NBA, because there's no limits to my future and what my future can hold. It's time that we are seen as more than athletes. It's time that we stop putting limitations or expectations on what athletes or other people could do. No, you're not just an athlete. No, you're not just a teacher. No, you're not just a police officer. No, you're not just a garbage man. You could be whatever you want to be. And it's time that the world sees us as more. Thank you.